Hi everyone, this is Varun Kumar Sirisilla. In this video, I will introduce a tool which I have developed called Smart API. So what is Smart API? It's a custom-built internal Salesforce app designed to test REST APIs inside Salesforce, and it allows you to define HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete, endpoint URL, request body, headers, and named credentials. We can also view the live API response instantly. So what are the key features? We can easily create API request in one screen, supports named credentials, create remote site settings on the fly, inline JSON beautifier for request bodies, generate ready to use Apex code, and it will also have a GenAI feature as well. So this is one of the example use case which I'm going to cover in the demo. And let's discuss about this GenAI. So I'll just provide a prompt saying that I want to make a call out to post an update on LinkedIn. So I'm going to pass this prompt to the LLM. So LLM will return me what are all the headers, what are all the request body, what are all the methods which are required to make that call out. So let's go into the demo part now. As you can see, this is the look of the app. This is the app, custom app which built in Salesforce. You can see bunch of actions like new request, creating a new request, open an existing request, and we also have an action to create the remote site settings on the fly in the same screen. And here you can see we can select the method, we can select the endpoint, we can add the headers, we can enter the request body, and we can save this request as well by clicking on the save. So it will be stored in a custom object. And we can also send this request. And after sending the request, you can see the response body here, and you can see the status code here. And here we also have a capable of selecting the named credentials, and we can also beautify the JSON based on the request body. We can also have the GenAI superpowers where we can enter a prompt where LLM can return us the method. It will just basically pre-populate all our things. For example, if I say I want to make a call out to LinkedIn to post an update, if I send this prompt to LLM, so LLM will return me the method, endpoint URL, headers, and request body, all of these things. So we're gonna cover that as well in the demo. Now let's go back to the Salesforce or so this is the app. As of now, there are no requests, so I'm going to create a new request. So I'll simply click on this new request button. Here I'll say I'll name it as create account request and click on save. Now request got created successfully. Here you can populate this method, get, post, pass, delete, endpoint URL. You can add your headers here. You can delete the headers and you can add your request body here. You can add your endpoint URL here. You can see the response, the response here, and you can also see the Apex code tab, which basically generate an Apex code for you. You can simply copy this code and execute in your developer console as well. So now you can add your endpoint URL, all these things, but here I'm going to use a GenAI function here, GenAI capable superpower. So I'll simply click on this button, GenAI. So here I'll just enter my prompt. I'll say I want to create an account in Salesforce. I'll simply click on execute. So what our LLM does is it will automatically pre-populate the request body, the headers, the endpoint URL, everything. Yeah. Now you can see everything got pre-populated, method got pre-populated, the endpoint URL. It might be returning some instances, but we have to replace these instances. You can see the headers. These are the two headers, and we need the access token. So for the demo purpose, what I can do is I can use the current org access token itself. So I'll simply click on this button, get session ID. So I can copy this session ID here and I'll paste it on the place of access token. So this is my access token here. If you want, you can add your headers here. This is the request body. I'll simply beautify this. You can see this is the name which I'm trying to create. And here I'm gonna add my Salesforce instance. So I'll replace this with my Salesforce instance. And you can see whatever the changes you are doing here, it will automatically reflect in this tab, Apex code tab. You can simply copy this code and execute this code in the developer console as well. It will return the same response. Now all the settings are done. Now what I'm going to do here is I'll just do one thing here. So I'll simply Click on send. Before send, we can also do a save, which basically we can reopen this request in future as well. So basically this request will be created in a custom object. I can show you that record as well. If I click on view record here, so this is the record which got created. So it will store the request, headers, the endpoint, the method, everything in this object. So coming back to this app again, so here what I'm going to do here is I'll go back to this tab and I'll simply click on send, and you can see the status code as 201. That means it's a success response, and you can see the account ID. Let's open this account ID. So this is the account which got created. Now you can see the name of the account. As we passed only name of the account, it created with the name only. And what we can do here is I can go to Apex Code tab. I can simply copy this entire code. I'll go to developer console. I'll copy the entire code here and click on execute. And you can see the response here as well. So it created an account with the status code as 201. And it has lot of things actually. We can also select named credentials here. These are the named credentials available in the org. We can also open the existing request. These are all the requests available in the org. And uh, we also have a option to create the remote site settings in the same screen. So instead of going back to setup and creating a remote site settings, you can create your remote site settings here itself. Now let's create another request here. So I'll say get accounts. So I'll click on save here. So here also I'll use the GenAI feature. So I'll simply click on this. I'll enter a prompt here, get account records in Salesforce. Click on execute. Now you can see it's a get method. The endpoint URL got populated. As it is a get, we don't need any request body. We need the headers. So here we need to populate the access token, and we have to change the instance as well. Let's use the instance which we used earlier. So I'll copy this same thing. I'll paste it here. And first thing is I'll just save this, and I'll use the same access token. Click on save. So this is the Apex code which got created. You can copy this and execute in the developer console as well, or I can simply click on send here, and you can see in the response status returned as 200. These are all the records, account records. And the same thing I can execute. Go back to the developer console, execute the code which I copied just now, paste it, click on execute, and you can see the response body here. So now let's try some different things. So I'll again create some new request. I'll say LinkedIn, anything. It's just a test request. So here I'm gonna use, I want to post a update on LinkedIn or something like that. So here I'll click on execute. Yeah, here you can see, so these are the things which are pre-populated, which we got from the LLM. The method got populated. I mean, LLM can make some mistakes, so it before configuring it, just verify all these things from the official documentations. So here you can see the request body where we can beautify this JSON, and this is the endpoint URL, and this is the Apex code which got generated here. So I'll click on save. I'll just save this request. Now let's use some named credentials. So what I'm going to do here is I'll create another request. So some free API which have university or something, get universities is the request name. Anything. Click on save. So request got saved successfully. And here I'm going to use get method. But in the endpoint URL, I just want to use name with credentials here. So what I can do is I'll simply click on this name with credentials button. And here I'm going to select this name with credentials, which I created already, which has the authorization, everything. And I'll click on continue. As it is a get request, we don't need any request body, and it's a free API. I don't need any headers as well. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna append a URL to this. So based on the country, it will return me the university. So go to this response tab. I'll first save it, and I'm gonna click on send. You can see the status code is 200, and you can see the response. This is how we can use namebook credentials as well. And thanks for watching.